Now, let's turn our attention to Italy. And with energy prices soaring in much of the world, in Italy, it's unsurprisingly become a key issue in the election, which is happening in just over a week. Polls suggest a coalition led by the far right is likely to win, with some of its members now talking about dropping sanctions against Russia because of the cost of living crisis. Our Italy correspondent Mark Lowen reports.
In the lush Italian Alps lies Russian leverage in Europe. For long, its gas has poured in here, making up 40% of Italy's total, the largest share. But now, with Western sanctions over Ukraine, Moscow has tightened the taps, its supply down by 60%, Vladimir Putin pushing a key pressure point.
This is the entry point for the Russian gas.
As the flow drops, Europe is racing belatedly to wean itself off Russian reliance.
It is very difficult to be able to predict whether we will have enough gas for this winter or not. With the government, we're working very hard to resolve or at least succeed in fighting this emergency situation to avoid having gas rationing. Up until now, Russia has always been a reliable supplier. Not even during the Cold War did we go without its gas.
Italy is now importing more liquefied natural gas stored offshore, and Algeria has replaced Russia as its biggest provider. At Trieste port, the other side of the Ukraine story. With the war blocking Black Sea ports, container traffic is coming here instead, up by 17%.
Here in Trieste, always a crossroads, the interconnection of the Ukraine war is complex. As the port booms, Russian gas elsewhere is drying up, and all the while, the world's largest sailing yacht, owned by an oligarch close to the Kremlin, has been seized. But for ordinary Italians, the impact is clear. The war is driving up prices and making more question whether it's really worth it.
At the Pipolo ice creamery, serving up mouth-watering scoops has soured as electricity bills rocket. "I'm not voting," says the owner in elections coming up, as energy prices triple, making his business unsustainable.
We'll have to stop paying bills soon, so they'll cut us off and shut us down. My grandfather opened this place in 1929. We survived the Second World War, and now it will hurt a lot if we have to close because of an electricity crisis. Maybe the government should look at how hungry its people are and ask if it can still help Ukraine.
That's echoed by Matteo Salvini of the right-wing coalition topping the polls, suggesting dropping sanctions on Moscow. He has close ties to Putin, like his ally Silvio Berlusconi. With most in Italy against arming Ukraine, it's an exploitable link for the Kremlin.
This is about our constitution, which explicitly rejects participating in wars. We're rejecting Russian gas in favour of other countries with dirty human rights records, like Qatar and Algeria. But we're not talking about how Europeans are being brought to their knees by this war.
Ukraine's nightmare is rippling through Europe and this nation as it casts its ballot. Italy too wants victory in Kiev, but at what cost? Mark Lowen, BBC News, Trieste.